decisions. I talked to you about being exposed. When you are exposed to things, it gives you options. Options give you choices, and choices require decisions. It is critically important that you make this next step into sound decisions. Some people are afraid to make decisions. They just contemplate the options for years and miss the opportunity to change their life because they miss the time factor that is involved in making a great decision. You cannot make a great decision whenever you want to. A great decision has a shelf life. Some people make great decisions too late. I've seen people who had beautiful voices and they launched their career too late. They should have been out there singing when they were young, but they waited till they got older. Now you're out there, you're doing something, you can do it real good, but you miss your season. Decisions, the decisions that you make are going to be the path to your destiny. There is a correlation between your destiny and your decisions. Your destiny speaks to where you're going to end up. Your decisions show me how you're going to get there. If your decisions don't start working with your destiny, you're going to spend your life going in circles. It's important to make good decisions. You cannot make a good decision with bad information. I want to talk about it very practically. On a very practical standpoint, you cannot make great decisions with poor information. How many of you have ever made a decision and then you got more information? You said, well, if I'd have known that. You got great information, but you got it too late. You made the decision with poor information, and now you suffer the consequences. You can't make a great decision with poor information. You've got to have good information. So when I start talking to you about decisions, there are a series of decisions that you need to put in motion. As you put those things in motion, it's going to change your life. I also want to warn you of the danger of making no decision, to help you to make decisions to reach your objectives so that you're not taking an art class trying to get a law degree. I just like art. That's wonderful, but it may not be the course you need if you want a law degree. Your decisions need to line up with your destiny. I should be able to look at your decisions and see where you're going. I should be able to hear where you're going to be and know, well, she would make that decision because that's not where she's going. How many times have you made bad decisions? I cannot teach 7 steps to a turnaround without making you understand the power of making sound decisions. So if you're going to make sound decisions, you have to have good information. Which brings me to this. You may have to slow down your decision-making process. Some people make decisions too fast. One guy said, when you don't know what to do something. Bad decisions, hasty decisions, too fast, and affects the next 20 years of your life because you made the wrong decision. If you'd have just waited, got all your information together, settled yourself, you'd have been better. What makes us make these fast decisions? Fear. Practical decisions require practical senses. Using common sense. Using common sense to frame your decisions is critical. Critical. Just common sense. Gathering the information and using common sense. When you make good decisions, it affects your kids. A bad decision will affect your children. My father was working. He was working real hard. He was working, just working all the time, working, coming home late. I mean, working, getting 3 hours of sleep, not taking care of himself. And it's a noble thing. I don't mean to be critical. It's an honorable thing. But he didn't take care of himself. He never rested, never ate right, eating in the middle of the night, going to bed, had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go out again. Wonderful thing, wonderful thing, but he didn't take care of himself. His decision to ignore his well-being led to his demise. By the time he got ready to check out himself, his blood pressure was something like 220 over 210. I mean, they couldn't figure out why his head hadn't blown off. It was just unbelievable. By the time he decided to take care of himself, his blood pressure had scarred his kidneys had stopped functioning, his eyes had almost gone blind, and I spent my childhood running kidney machines and learning how to run dialysis while other people were driving bicycles. Your decisions affect your children, whether they be positive or negative. Somebody made a decision to leave your mama, affected everything you think about everything right now. Some of you grown, 50, 60 years old, and still dealing with how you feel about something your parents did 30 years ago. A decision to keep a deadbeat job affected your whole mentality, what you expect out of life, what you expect out of husband, what you expect out of people. Because you saw your mama cheat, or your daddy cheat, or you saw them do this or that, those decisions affect you. Nobody wakes up in the morning, and most people don't say, I'm going to mess up my kid. I'm going to leave this mama and run off with my secretary and go on with my life and just mess up my child's mind and leave them heartbroken. They're not aiming at the kids. But decisions are like earthquakes. They have tremors. It rumbles on long after you do it for years and years. And even after you're dead, decisions have consequences.